Hello, good morning from the shed. Just getting sorted and I'll be with you. I'm a bit early, so hopefully nobody is listening to me at the moment. There I am. Right. Hello. Good morning. Is there anybody out there? Nobody's there yet. Hello. Oh, two people there. Hello. Whoever's there. Let's get so I can see my comments on the screen. So, hello, there's three people there. Hello. Say hello. Any comments? So today was supposed to be official Three Amigos Day, but because we were only all just back from the retreat, we decided it wasn't going to be official Three Amigos. But then we decided we'd all just check in with you anyway today. Hi Hilary, hi Lish. So we're all going to check in with you today, bit of chat, nothing like special offers or anything. Morning. Sarah Jane. So I'm doing 9:30 to 10 as usual. Abby will be on her Facebook page at 10, and then Handy Andy will be on Crafty UK at 10:30 before he disappears off yet again. I think he's off to Ireland next week. I don't know how he does it. So we're all back from the retreat. Hi Marion, hi Eileen. Hello everybody. Are you having a good bank holiday weekend? Weather's not so hot today. I'm hoping it is going to rain a bit today because I'm fed up with watering everything. Hi Kim, how are you? Hi Tracy. Yeah, so we're just back from the retreat. The retreat was a grand success. Good morning, Janice. We will fill you in with details of the next retreat on, hi Jenny, at Malvern. So it's Malvern in 2 weeks' time, is it? Whatever date that is. It's something like the 18th of May or something. I'm going up on the Sunday morning. Yes, it will be 2 weeks. Next Three Amigos Live will be from Malvern on the Sunday. And then we'll fill you in with details of the next retreats because hopefully, hi Carol and Mandy, hopefully Andy will have had costs for next year by then. We're hoping we can squeeze a couple more people in if we all sit. There were like these big alcoves where we set up our shops. So we're hoping we can, we'll sit in with our shops and then it'll release a couple of more tables. Because, hi Margaret, hi Susan, so many people have rebooked. We're not going to have many places. So we've got a reserve list. But we're also plotting on another retreat in the autumn further north. So that will all be revealed at Malvern. So you'll have to watch us at Malvern in a couple of weeks' time on the Sunday. Hi, Dorothy. If I've missed anyone, apologies. Hi, Joe. I saw someone else there. Hi, Abby Ann. So hello. So we're all back from the retreat. The retreat was a grand success. We had lots of laughs, lots of bloopers. Mine is not really repeatable on here, but yeah, we were in tears the last night. Brodari and Shemai, yeah, we did have lots of laughs, so it was good. I did a workshop on my blockbuster bag, and I think I made everyone's brain ache by the end of the day, but they all got at least the front of their blockbuster bag done. Speaking of which, hi Mrs. Tosh. Speaking of which, the last lot, I made up special kits for them for the retreat. So I had a couple left of this, which is all the ready cut squares and the Osnaburg, basically everything you need to make this plus a bit more. There's a few of those on the website. Don't order anything until I tell you what the discount code is though. So I think I've got about 4 of those left. And I did have 1 left of the ready cut fabric to make the cushion. So there's 3 tilde fat quarters and the ready cut squares and the destructions to make the cushion. I'm not sure if I've sold it or not because there was only 1 left and I haven't looked this morning. Thank you, Hilary. So there might be 1 left of those. Now let me have a look. Oh yeah, and what else I had left? Yeah, so the other one that they were all making was this one. I think a lot of people made this version, the William Morris version, and all I did for that, there's you need the pattern for this and the pattern for Do you need the pattern for this? No, you don't. Shut up, Julia. You lost your mind. So that's the Blockbuster bag pattern. And they, the people that were making it had a pack of William Morris fat quarters. So I've cut up all the William Morris I have left. I've cut it up into fat quarter bags and put on the sale page. So there's 8 fat quarters in there. But I had none of the Strawberry Thief bird fabric left, but what I had instead was, and I'll show you, I don't know how, if you can see it, the one with the lily on. So I thought you could sort of fussy cut that to go in the middle of your Blockbuster bag. So if you wanted those, I'll tell you what the discount code is in a minute. I managed to cut 10 of those. Hi Margaret. So, as usual, there will be a goodie bag prize today. So any orders from this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, will go into a draw to win a goodie bag. So I had one of my goodie bags left that I did at that we did at the retreat. So they had a goodie bag from me, Andy and Abby, and we put them all into a nice bag. But this is what I put in. So the Moda sent me some like offcuts of fabric and bits. So there's some Moda fabric in there. There's a couple of Stitcheries in there. Handtex this week sent me like a mini charm pack of some art gallery fabrics they've got in the sale that they were trying to flog me. So I've put that in the bag. There's one of my mini charm packs. There's a ball of thread and there's 2 Moda mini charm packs in it. So anyone who orders this weekend can go in the draw for a goodie bag. So if you missed out at the retreat, they had a lovely goodie bag. They had all sorts of things in, rulers and nice little ceramic needle minders and all sorts of things in there. Are we having a maths question? No, my brain is frazzled. No, because this isn't even an official, this is just a call in and have a chat day. So no maths. My brain got fried last week. And Lish made, did you see my 3 Amigos video from the show? Lish made us each one of these. Aren't they cool? So we all got a little bear. Very cute. So that's to add to my collection. Thank you, Lish. Right. So is everybody there? Have you all got a pen? So the discount code, when you place your order, you'll go to checkout, and in the checkout it says, have you got a coupon, or words to that effect. So you put the code in that box and then you press apply coupon or apply code. I can't remember what it says. I think it says apply coupon, and then it will take the discount off your actual order, not off your postage, off your order. So you have to put in the discount code. It's all in uppercase lettering, and this is it. There's no spaces between the letters. That is the code. So 3 Amigos is the code. No spaces in between any of the letters and all uppercase. It will give you 13%, so 13% off. So I was going to give you 10% off, and then I thought I'll add a 1% for each Amigo. So it's 13%. So here's the code, and that's what you have to put in. I've forgotten what I was going to say something then. It's menopause brain. Discount code. What was I going to say? Oh, I don't know. Oh, yes. It applies to everything and all orders over £10. So even the sale page. So it's a good buy. So I grabbed up some things that I could show you. That, like if you bought the Valdani threads, so are they 65 or something like, you're going to get another £8 off, and they're already reduced by about £10 anyway, if there's any left, as an example. Or if you're spending about £30-ish on something, you're going to, basically it works out you're getting free postage, because postage is £3.50. Things like, I'll show you what I've got left. I've got quite a few like layer of cakey things. So that's a William Morris layer cakey thing. And they're, what are they? £32.50, so before discount. I've got a load of these left, which was all traditional fabrics with which you could make a quilt like this. So that's what I used to make a quilt like this. So that was a Charm Pack Shuffle quilt. It's quite a big quilt. That needs to come in my house or go on my bed or something now. So you can make something like that. What else have I got? The Adidas Sitar one, which was a mega bundle. It's like 70 squares. That was £50, and like one layer cake nowadays is £50 for 42 squares. So yeah, you get quite a bit off that. And I had a few of the bright, I can't remember what these were called. Those nice Macau ones. I can't remember what it was called. I think there's 3 of those left. So, oh, and those. I found a load. I thought I'd run out of those, but then I found them. The Lydia's Lace with the snowball pattern, which makes the quilt that's hanging up behind me. I've got a load of those left that when I cleared out the shed to go to the retreat, I found them hiding in a box underneath. Oh, what's in here? People keep saying, how does she keep finding stuff in boxes? It's because there's so much stuff in here and everything's piled on top of each other. So, good morning, Manda. So if you miss a discount code, I shall flash it once more. There you are, 13%. I had to trace this backwards so it would turn out on the video. Blockbuster kit is showing as sold out. Okay, right, they've obviously all gone then. If they're gone, they're gone. But you can, if you buy you can buy the pattern. If you want to do the William Morris, just buy the fat quarter pack and the pattern. I haven't got any Osnaburg left, so that's why there's no more kits. Okay, so the next thing that I put yesterday that I'm doing the pattern. This is why I've got a fried brain, because I had to type up the pattern for this yesterday, and there's 8 pages of the blinking pattern. So this will be ready maybe next weekend, but I'm halfway through finishing the proper one. This was like my trial, so it's a bit, you know, sort of slapdash inside. So this is made to keep your Valdani threads in. So someone said, can we have a box for Valdani threads? So I decided in my wisdom to make a round box, and it's got a zip that goes all the way around, and it actually worked, and I didn't stress that there were no bad words involved in making this, which is a miracle. Hang on, just trying to do the zip up so it's stuck in it. There we go. So to put all your threads in, and one thing I would say is if you're putting all your threads in that box, put them in a bag first. So if you go on Amazon and look for 4-inch square organza bags, you can put all your Valdani threads in a bag, because if you just chuck them in a box, all the thread comes off it and they get in a big knot and you waste half your thread. So go ask Amazon for some mini organza bags to put your thread in, and then put them in your box. Okay, so I'm halfway through, well, nearly there. I started on the retreat doing another one, and I've done this in the Unity fabric. So this is done a lot better because this isn't my sample. I was just rushing the other one to see if it would work. So this is using these fabrics. Speaking of which, there's some of these candy bar packs left. Kim made this at the retreat. So it's these fabrics. So basically, if you have a Unity charm pack, you'll have enough to do this box. Obviously, you'll need some bigger bits of something to do the lining of your lid. So you'll have, the pattern will be available very soon. So I'm just going to go quickly through how I made it. So these are just, the lid is just an 11-inch circle. Who's that saying hello? Good day from Australia. That's my mother. When are you home, mother? Mother's in Australia with my brother in Brizzy, well, near Brizzy. So good day. So 11-inch circles at the top. I've used like a Bosal, what I've got legacy foam. Okay. So that's your lid. There's mini Dresden. So you know the little, where's my stitching folder? It matches the stitching folder. I'm all over the place today. So the top is the same as your stitching folder. So it's just a 2.5-inch Dresden and a 1.5-inch Dresden, and then the Stitchery on the middle. The base, again, is an 11-inch circle on top of Bosal. And your outer is made up of spool blocks. So if you want to make a spool block, you need to cut yourself, do some half square triangles. So for each block, these squares in the corner are 2 1/8 squares made into half square triangles. So you've got a cream and a brown, 2 1/8 inch put together sew 1/4 inch either side of the line, as you do with half square triangles, to make your corners. These bits here are 1 3/4 inches by 3 inches, and this bit in the middle is 3 inches. Okay, so that's how you make a spool block, and there are 6 of those. And then on each end you've got a 5.5 inch by 2.5 inch rectangle, just to make it long enough to go round your circle. This will overlap, so it's more than big enough to go round. The zip on the top, so my easy way of making zips is the zip on the top, and then on each end you've got a big tab. So the tab, you're cutting a piece of fabric 8 inches long by 3.5 inches wide and wrapping it around the end of the zip. So if you haven't seen a zip demo, you're just using 2.5 inch wide strips and encasing the zip like a binding either side, and then you put a tab on the end. So you just wrap the fabric around the end. That's the back, that's the front. So if you're making when you come to make this box, you need a bit 8 inches long, because you wrap it around the zip. Hang on, let me undo it if you haven't seen this before. You wrap it around the zip, and then you sew it in place and pull it up and over, and then fold it over the back. So for this you want an 8 inch long piece, because you want 4 inch bits either end, because the zip's 28 inches and the whole piece is about 34 inches. So you wrap it round the end, and then you just top stitch it on top of the circle. And then you will place this on top of your base. So you've got your 11 inch circle for the base. Wrap it around so that this sits on top of the base, okay? And then when you worked out what that measurement is, you overlap it at the back and you stitch it down. So go up and down the back and stitch it down, okay? This will be up on YouTube afterwards, so when you get your pattern, and if you get stuck, you can go back and refer to it. So stitch it up and down. Okay, so that will give you your finished circle of your bag. And then firstly sew on the lid. Now all the lid is done is you'll top stitch it all the way around on the inside of your lid, and it's actually quite easy to do. If you just undo the zip, you'll take it to your lid and you'll just top stitch all the way around. Obviously this is going to be a circle when you bring it to your lid, so this is going to be wrapped round, it's going to be a circle. But if you undo the zip, it sounds fiddly, but honestly it's not, okay? And then you'll just do the same on the base. The base is more fiddly, it's probably easier to do it by hand, but I was determined to do it by machine, and actually it was fine. You need to have a fairly decent machine. I did it on my Juki. I know the Bernina will do it easily, but I did it on my Juki and it was fine, okay? You just remember to lengthen your stitch length. So that pattern will be coming, hopefully. I might have it ready next weekend. If I do, I do. And then I don't know about fabric packs, but if you've got these Unity charm packs, you're going to have enough to do most of it, apart from things like obviously the lining of the inside and the base. So the charm packs are not available on their own at the moment. They're in that pack of 3, but I might do some linen and charm pack and pattern combos for whenever I'm on next. Okay, so that's that. So if I've missed any comments, apologies, while I'm rabbiting on. Next thing, Stitcheries. So I can't remember if I've shown you these in the flesh or not. So we're doing the wildflower Stitcheries. At the moment I'm just drawing what I see. I have a field full of cuckoo flowers. I only know that they're called cuckoo flowers because if you take a photo with your iPhone and then you swipe up the photo, it will tell you what you've taken a photo of. It's very clever. So my field is full of these flowers. So I've done that, and I finished that on the retreat. Obviously we've done also, I think most of you've seen that. You've seen the bluebell one, the poinsettia one, because I wanted to do one for Christmas. I haven't seen any poinsettias, but I just did that because I want to do it for Christmas. A sunflower. There are others at the printers. Today I drew, when I last went up the woods, I saw plenty of wood anemones. So the next one is going to be a wooden enemy, but that hasn't gone to the printers yet. So that would be another one. Also, I decided that we are going to need a nice little folder to put all our wildflower stitcheries, because how many are we going to make before we sew them all together? Or are we just going to do one at a time and make them into hearts like we did with the daffodil one? I don't know. So I would like to just keep stitching. I mean, there's so many flowers, we're going to go on forever, aren't we? So we might want a nice folder to keep them in. So before I went on the retreat, the day before I went on the retreat, I had nothing better to do than cut a ton of candy bar packs of every floral that I had left in the shed. I think there's 72 of these. These aren't for sale yet. These are waiting for another pattern and a mini charm. So I've cut these to go eventually with the wildflower thingamajiggies. And I've started making something. So I have a plan in mind, but I got all of them and I sewed them all together in a braid. So that'll give you an idea. It's such a long braid of what they're going to look like. So I think I'm going to do, I've got enough in a candy bar to do 2 of these braids, and then it's going to be folded, it's going to go on some linen, and it's going to be folded into 3 to make a folder. That's the general idea anyway, to keep our stitcheries in. So if I do 2 of these, because obviously you've got to trim off the end and put some linen around it, I thought it might look quite pretty. So that, I had to bribe myself to sit at the sewing machine and sew them together, and I think I finished it. I left to go to the retreat last Sunday at 9:30, so I was sitting there from about 8 o'clock sewing the rest together, because I was stressed out about the drive and everything, but actually it was completely fine. And the weather was good. We were so lucky with the weather on the retreat, so lucky. And the hotel is opposite. There's like a wildflower, like reserve kind of old wood sort of thing. And it sort of straddles the M3, so you actually walk over the M3. But if you walk over there, you go over a cattle grid, and then there's all these cows everywhere. So the real cows. Mrs. Tosh was hiding behind me because she's terrified of cows. And I said, they'll be fine. There's nothing to be frightened of. And then you walk down and then there's deer everywhere. There was a wood full of wild garlic. And then you went down to, there's an old canal, which has been left to go, which is no longer a canal, which is the old Basingstoke Canal. It was just beautiful. And the weather was just beautiful. And there was like a patio outside where we were working. Like there's windows and French doors out to the patio, so we could sit out at lunchtime. So it was all very lush and very lovely. And it was a bit like Faulty Towers. There was like 2 people in charge of us. Was it Claire and Paul? And I think when we got to the hotel, Paul had an apron on, and then the next minute he had a suit on. Paul literally did everything. He was up from when we were up at 6:30 in the morning till when we finished at 10 o'clock at night. And he literally served us dinner, served us tea, served us coffee. He did everything, him and Claire, and they were brilliant and so comical. It was so funny. So let me see, what else have I got to tell you? I've told you about the prize. I've told you about, I've literally written in here, new braid thing. Sewing box I've done. Yeah, so discount code, show you once more in case you're late and you've only just got up. Discount code will last until tomorrow night. Go to the checkout, press apply, add the thingy, the code, press apply coupon, and it's 13% off everything over £10, and it includes a sale page, which is very generous of me. Actually, that's what I was going to say. The Unity fabrics, remember I did those big bags of every Unity fabric, and they were £66 instead of 88. There are 3 left. So if you want to grab yourself, which is already a bargain, there are 3 of those left. Okay, so that's that. Any comments? Your retreat pictures look fab. Oh, thank you, Wendy. Yeah, it was good. So if those of you up north are panicking, there's plans. There's plans for the autumn, all to be revealed at Malvern. So yeah, I don't know how they did it. What, the Claire and Paul. Yeah, there's plans afoot for the autumn, but it depends on whether we can get a place. But that was the first retreat, and obviously we will learn for the next one because nobody knew what to expect. Shout out to Chris Creswell, who managed to call. There were 2 ladies called Lois and Eddie, and they are the funniest pair. They were Thelma and Louise, or as I called Eddie the Eagle, Chris managed to call Lois Flo for the whole retreat until the last day, when she turned around and said, "Do you know what, Chris? I have to tell you my name is not Flo." So her name was actually Lois. But so Flo Jo and Eddie the Eagle were the comic pair of the retreat, and they're coming next year too. So they were hilarious. Anyway, so that's enough retreat talk. We'll have more talk of retreats and things in 2 weeks' time. So yeah, the Love to Sew box is coming. Patterns printed. The only reason I haven't made it available, I want to finish this version of it before and put a photo of it on before I copy all the patterns. And it's going to take me forever to print all the patterns because there's 8 pages to it, because how to do a zip, how to make the block, how to do the Dresdens and stuff. And on this version, I put a little heart on the inside as well. So you can stick your needles in it. So you've got your needles in there, and all your Valdani threads or your Aurifil threads or whatever threads, or your Vinca Perle, you can put in the box. And I rather like the spool block. I might have to make a quilt with those. I just need some new fabric. Will there be a Welsh retreat? Not at the moment, because I can't keep going on retreats. I mean, I hate leaving home as it is. 2 retreats a year are enough, but the next one will be easy to get to, unless we just have our own little Welsh retreat that I can come to from home. That's a possibility. I could do that. Or you do what Hilary does and you park the van in the field. So not yet. Let's see what happens. Life's a bit, I don't like to plan ahead at the moment because Simon's still not brilliant. He's a bit hit and miss, and I don't like going away. What does Chris say? No, don't mention it. Yeah, I did mention it. Sorry, Chris. I haven't mentioned mine blooper yet. I'll do that from Malvern, maybe. Don't know how to, a Welsh retreat. I'd come to that. Yes, so we'll see. We'll see. It's time, isn't it? Time and planning. So what's the time? Nearly there. Yeah, so if you're only just joining, remember all the orders, in addition to discount code, you've got a goodie bag full of all sorts of stuff. If you came on the retreat, you've already had that goodie bag, but there's more again in it anyway. There were some that's the last of the William Morris. I think there's like 4 bolts left with about a metre or so left on them, so there's hardly anything left. There's hardly any fabric left at the moment. I'm waiting for new fabric to come in, and it's all going to come in at once. I think the next fabric to come is autumny fabric. I've got to sort out some new Moda fabric next week because they messed up an order, so they owe me a load of fabric. So hopefully sort out that next week, and maybe I'll have that by Malvern sorted out. I'll have the patterns typed up, and then I'll cut. I've got enough fabric of this, which is behind me. Yeah, I've got enough fabric to cut just some charm packs of this eventually. For this one, you'll need, if you want your spools all to be the same, you need a fat 1/8 of cream and a fat 1/8 of a goldy, brownie or beigey to do your spools. And then just scraps for the middle. They're only 3-inch squares in the middle. And then obviously these, you'll get those out of a candy bar, those little Dresdens. And they're not that tricky. They look, everyone says, oh, they look tricky, but Sonia and Lish will attest to the fact that I sat and did these one morning at the retreat. Didn't take me long at all. There were no bad words at that point. So they look, you think a 1.5-inch dress is going to be fiddly, but actually they're okay. They're not that bad to do. So what's the time? Another minute to go. So yeah, don't forget your discount code. I'm sure the others will have all sorts of, if you go to Abby next, she will tell you about what she made at the retreat. There were all sorts of lovely things made. Lish and Sonia made, we did reverse applique. I had to go. They were all doing lovely black, almost looks like, what's the word? Can't think. Stained glass kind of thing. And I just played around with that for my reverse applique. So I'll probably turn that into a bag but Lish and Sonia can put pictures on the Facebook page. And Chris, did you do the reverse applique, Chris? I can't remember. Put your pictures up of what you made. So, yeah. So thanks for joining me again on a Sunday morning, bank holiday. Enjoy the discount code. Abby and Patchwork and Quilting is on next on her Facebook page, so she'll bring you up to speed with what she's doing. Followed by Handy Andy at 10:30 before he goes off to sunny Ireland for, is it Quilt Fair? I can't remember what it is. So is it Margaret and what's her name? Yvonne's show. So thank you for watching. Thank you for joining again. If you've come in late and missed it, I'll upload it to Tube in a minute. And I'll let you know as soon as I know you're all itching for these patterns. As soon as I've finished this and taken a picture and printed them up, I will let you know. Okay, so I'm going now. I'm going to press the finish button and see you in 2 weeks' time from Malvern, definitely, if not before, here for a cross patch thingy. Okay, bye.